Now, Alexander Sasha Povetkin, the Russian challenger who's set to take on Anthony Joshua for the unified heavyweight titles on September 22nd at Wembley Stadium, has said that he is prepared for any kind of scenario with Anthony Joshua, whether that be Joshua keep him at range or he comes for a bit of a rumble. And Povetkin is preparing for both of those scenarios, and of course he's looking forward to the fight. Now, Alexander Povetkin, for me, he has arguably the best resume at heavyweight right now, and a win for Anthony Joshua is one hell of a name to Joshua's resume. It really is. And I know a lot of people are sleeping on Povetkin, that Joshua's just going to walk through him. No. Now, I hope you're right, but no, that's not how it works. With Povetkin, he is tough. He did get rocked by David Price, and against Vladimir Klitschko, which was his only loss, he got mauled by Klitschko. And then Klitschko was leaning all over him, throwing him around, illegal tactics. And some say that Klitschko was lucky to not be disqualified in that fight for the amount of underhanded tactics that he was using. But you know what? I enjoyed the fight. I thought it was pretty good, to be honest. Now, Povetkin, as I said, he's real tough, and people really shouldn't be sleeping on him. I know some people are, and for me, it's kind of setting Joshua up to fail no matter how he wins. If he doesn't blast him out in the first couple of rounds like people think that he should be, then it's a bit of a failure. That's ridiculous. For me, just even a points win over Povetkin is awesome. Okay? So we'll get into Povetkin's statement from what he spoke to Sky Sports, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what's wrong with you? It's great over here. It's awesome. It's crazy. Make sure you click that subscribe button. So, Povetkin's statement to Sky Sports. There is never any thoughts about losing. I don't think it's just about coming to the ring and winning. I do everything for that. We have two scenarios, whether Anthony Joshua will decide to have a rumble or he will keep the distance. We have both scenarios. We don't know how it will go, but we're ready for any style of fight. I just want to win. This is most important. In Russia, there were periods of times where places like video shops were popular and they sold Bruce Lee movies. I decided that I want to be powerful and I can protect myself. I asked my father to bring me somewhere. From the beginning, there was karate, then kickboxing, then boxing from 13 years old. And that's how I got into boxing. I can't say that the knockdown against David Price hurt me too much. But after that, I watched the moments what I did wrong in that exact moment. That was just a small mistake that I'll try not to do in the fight against Joshua. In general, I'm satisfied with my performance. Of course, I made a mistake, but I won. This is the key moment. I just want to say again, I really love how people react for boxing. Of course, they support the British guy, but at the same time, they love beautiful and quality boxing. So that is Povetkin's statement. So that little bit there about the video shop he was talking about Bruce Lee. And he was hooked on Bruce Lee as a kid, and his dad used to take him to the video shop to get him Bruce Lee movies. That's why he got into karate, then kickboxing, which ultimately evolved into boxing. So that's what that bit was there. So again, David Price, of course, this happened at the Principality Stadium on the Joshua and Parker undercard, and Povetkin was supposed to walk through David Price, but David Price shocked a lot of people where he kind of like stood his ground at times, and he hit Povetkin right after he got dropped himself, and Povetkin went stumbling backwards and got saved by the corner of the ring, but it was deemed as a knockdown. The referee gave him a count. Now, had the referee not done that, there is speculation that David Price may have come forward and finished him off, but who knows? But I mean, was Povetkin really hurt? Was he just knocked off balance? We don't know. But either way, Povetkin is dangerous, and don't forget, in this fight as well, David Price, he stood there. His feet didn't move. It really didn't. And Joshua, not the fastest person in the world on his feet, but he's certainly faster than what David Price is, and what David Price was against Povetkin as well. So I think that Joshua is going to be a bit more harder to hit than what David Price is. But hey, you know, Povetkin, he can hurt you with either hand, whether it be a left hook, a straight right. He can hurt you anywhere. He's a good body puncher. He is an all-rounded fighter. Very dangerous. And this is what I said at the beginning of the video. People who sleep on Povetkin, for me, don't do it, because you're letting yourself in for a real disappointment, because Povetkin is dangerous. For me, I believe that Joshua's going to win. I'm kind of hoping that he's not going to go the distance. I'm hoping that Joshua knocks him out. But will that happen? Doesn't really matter. as long as Joshua wins, that's the only important thing. But a loss to Povetkin is no great shame. It really isn't. Because a lot of people, and certainly the rankings, have Povetkin as the number 3 heavyweight in the world. And that's behind Joshua and Deontay Wilder. For me, Povetkin, when he was scheduled to fight Deontay Wilder, I was picking Povetkin to beat Wilder back then. I really was. And this fight between Joshua and Povetkin is, let's be real about it, is a fight that it's two guys that Deontay Wilder avoided. And it's the truth. That's exactly what it was against Anthony Joshua. Wilder had a contract on his desk for all terms agreed, but didn't sign it. Kept making up excuses about no date and venue. But yet he now goes and signs a fight with Tyson Fury with no date and venue, right? With Povetkin, he was supposed to go over to Russia. He came to the UK to finish off his training camp. And as he was about to leave UK in Sheffield, Alexander Povetkin failed a PED test, but he failed it by 0.02 milligrams of something. I don't even know all this kind of thing about PEDs, but what I do know is that he was within the legal limits, so the fight should have still went ahead, but it didn't. And subsequently, of course, Povetkin has counter-claimed or counter-sued Team Wilder and the testing agencies and everything, and of course won. So anyway, this is a fight that the number 2 guy, the WBC champion, avoided. He avoided both of these guys. And if he doesn't fight the winner, or at least Joshua after then, and it ends up being Joshua versus Dillian Whyte, again, this will be another 2 guys that Wilder avoided, right? So all fun times if you're a Wilder fan, right? Anyway, that is Alexander Povetkin's statement that he's quite willing to trade with Joshua, or he's quite willing for Joshua to run around, try and keep him at range, much like he did against Joseph Parker. And he's got a plan for that. He's got scenarios for Joshua keeping it at range or coming in and having a bit of a tear up. And if you have a bit of a tear up against Povetkin, it's not a good idea. We've seen that with Carlos Takam. Carlos Takam is very, very good at trading, and he come off worse against Povetkin. So anyway, that's what Povetkin's saying. So anyway, you drop your thoughts below about it, or you click that thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you all on the very next video.